Oh, this is a fun question. What was big in the tuning scene 10 years ago compared to today? So, like in 2011. So, in 2011, this place was like 2.7T central.
Yeah, single
Um,
turbo 270 stuff was
we
pretty
were
big.
doing single turbos, engine builds. We would sell like $20,000 270 engines out of here every day.
Yep.
Rods, pistons, bearings, um, KO4 turbos, tile turbos, our STK kit, which we brought to market,
And then we were doing a bunch of 180 build, like two
180
liter stroker
stuff.
build stuff.
Yeah, we were still doing a lot of big i5 build stuff. At that time, we were building motors. We were doing cylinder heads. Um, we were we were doing 3.5 inch exhausts for the B5
In house.
in house, all built here, which again was an
Yes.
um,
For a number of reasons.
Mark 5, Mark 6 stuff wasn't really. I guess Mark 6 was
Mark
coming
5 would
out.
have been pretty
It was
late to
there.
it.
Mark 5 never really took off. I mean, it was like the first FSI motor. People didn't know what to do with them. They were injector limited. So we would do a lot of KO4 turbo kits.
Yes. Yeah, we did a bunch
Tons
of
of
those.
those, like a number of those a day. We were selling a lot of like Garrett turbos, precision turbos. I think I think the Borg Warner stuff
EFR,
had just
your
come
stuff was
out.
probably dropping
EFR
around.
was just coming out. We were building GTIRS. Um,
Yeah.
but the market, and we were doing lots of standalone. So we had our
We were
034
still heavy in the
EFI,
standalone stuff.
full plug and play harnesses, which was critical because at that time there still weren't really good Motronic ME7 tunes out there. So there was like either you'd get low power output or throttle cuts, misfires, things like that.
Yeah,
So we'd throw a
anytime you were
standalone
outside
on
of
it.
like stage one, stage two stuff.
Yeah, we'd throw a standalone on it, and so we would sell like a full package with the ECU harness and everything for about 3-4 grand.
Yep.
Everything you needed to do the swap. Um, but the market was much more DIY. Products weren't as refined. People weren't expecting quite as
From
much.
like anybody
Yeah.
towards any yeah.
So to get a 270 S4 to 550 horsepower, now you can do that in a B8 S4 for what? 3 grand?
Yeah, it's some weekend of
Yeah.
putting a new charge cooler on and flashing your
To
car.
get a 2.7 to 550 horsepower, it was like at least 10 grand. And most people were probably spending more like 20 to build the motor. KO4s didn't quite get you there. So then you're looking at a $6,000 turbo kit plus a $10,000 motor plus a clutch that might hold if you're lucky,
Yeah.
and also, I mean, back in 2011, people were spending, like all you guys out there, having a great time with B8 3.0 Ts.
You got it good.
You got it good because in 2011, you would have been spending 20, 30 grand to get to where you're at now with these cars. And these cars are faster, more fun to drive. There was no DSG, which,
Right.
you're not running 11s in a 2.7 S4 was like a small miracle. It was really impressive. We had an in-house car that was doing like 500 wheel on a STK, and I took it to the track one night and I managed to eke an 11.9 out of it, and it was the perfect run, the perfect launch. It was
Yeah,
on street tires.
transmissions were really hard.
The shifts are just like
Getting
it's
the
like
bunches right was a
it's like shifting a World War II, relic with the O and E. But I eked out 11.9. I got like a 1.6 60-foot launch, and I got every shift perfectly, and I was able to dip into the 11s. That was really really hard to do. So now you just spend $2,000 on some tunes and some pulleys, and then you're running 11.5s.
Yep.
All day long. So, yeah, it was a very different world. It was a different market. 034 Motorsport was a very different company. Um, I would say our products were much lower quality. They would like Nate and I were doing all the engineering at the time, um, and the place, everyone was running around with their hair on fire. Everyone's still very busy, but things are much more
It's much more
controlled,
organized chaos.
organized, and professionally managed now compared to then. I was also I think there was like 30 people working here, and everyone reported to me. There was really no management in the
Yeah.
company. Um, which, and I think I was sending about 500 emails every day.
Yes.
I started tracking it at one point, and now I'm probably down to like 50. It's like such a better life. So, all right, yeah, fun question. Thanks for asking. Someone should ask what the tuning market was like 15 or 20. Let me go back. I've been in the market for over 20 years, so
Yeah, what people expect now is
it's so different.
very different from where it was.
And to be truthful or to be fair, it's much better what people expect now.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, we want to deliver
People
this kind of product,
expect
but
really high quality products and service, and we strive to rise to those expectations every day.
Yep.
But back then, people were doing the work themselves, and um, you know, pe- people would still have high expectations, but
yeah,
they were rolling up their sleeves and grinding and welding stuff, and the DIY market has changed. Now DIY is bolting on a perfectly engineered product with no issues. That's not what DIY used to be. And there's still people out there doing some really legit hardcore DIY.
Oh, yeah.
For sure. But it feels like it's a lot less than it used to be.
Well, and to be fair, it's gotten a lot harder. Like you can't DIY, nearly as much on the modern cars without a huge amount of, knowledge, tools, very proprietary tool sets and whatnot to work on them.
Yeah, the B5 era got harder. Like standalone.
Yeah. When drive-by-wire stuff came along, that's really kind of when it started shifting dramatically to
that got a lot harder. Standalone on like an 80s car was pretty easy. You had to run a tack output.
Yep.
To the dash.
Keep the dash happy. Then your ABS still works.
If it had ABS.
If it had ABS.
Yeah, most cars didn't until like the mid 90s. Like I had a 2000 B5 S4 that had no traction control, no ABS.
Yep.